Well, welcome everybody. This is a special day. We have Kristen Dembo with us, our special guest, who is joining us for today's topic. On Thankful Thursday, we're having our gratitude quiz. And as always, I have my lovely co-host, my daughter, Rebecca Odell, who is below, and I'm Wendy Brimhall. And we're happy to bring you this quiz. And this is a quiz. It's a very lighthearted quiz, but if you would like to join along, go grab a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper, and you can follow along. These are just some general questions. It's by no means a comprehensive test, so it's just a good check to see where we are. So let's jump in and begin. How do you feel? Do you feel really good about this? Mm-hmm. Good. Let's see where we are. Okay.
I'm excited.
Oh, good. Okay, because so it's a point system of 5.
Okay.
So you'll have 1 being basically you want the lowest score you can get, is better, and then 5, maybe you're not so good at it. Okay, but so the first question is about how often we count our blessings. 1 would be, I sincerely and humbly thank God daily for my blessings he has given me. 2 would be, I count my blessings a few times a month because I have a hard time remembering, although I have good intentions to count them more often. So that's 2. 3, I usually count my blessings when I'm in the midst of a trial. It helps me keep my perspective. 4, I count my blessings a few times a year, especially around the holidays. Or 5, I rarely, if ever, remember to count my blessings. So where do you fall on that scale? 1 being you count them regularly, daily, or 5, you rarely, if ever, count your blessings. What do you think?
I'm a 2.5.
A 2.5, okay.
Because I don't do it every single day, but I probably do it like every other day.
So that's good. That's good. Yeah, I like that half. Put the half in there if you think you're a half. Halfway in between. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
I try to always think of what I'm grateful for, even if it's like a trial. Like, what's the lesson? How can I be grateful for this trial, etc.
I wasn't going to take this, but I think I'll do it too. And I think I would give myself a 2.5 as well, because I do it every day, but sometimes I do it by rote. Sometimes I'm in a hurry and I just rattle off some blessings really quick without really putting the intent behind it. What about you, Kristen? How'd you do on that? You don't have to share if you don't want to.
1.
Oh, that is awesome. So we have
I just got chills.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I've been doing a lot better about it the last few months because I've been meditating. So I know what you're saying about sometimes it feels rote, like I'm just doing it because like I have to do it. Mm-hmm. But it's been a lot more natural. So I would say
that's wonderful. Yeah, sometimes I'm a little better about my intent than, like I do well for a month or 2. And then sometimes when I'm busier, I fall into that rote. But right. I think that's where we can all, work on it a little more. And that's the thing, we all have moments in our lives where we kind of go up and down and we walk upward and then we kind of slide downward a little bit. And that's just life. So just keep that in perspective as we answer the next question. When you pray or meditate, do you, 1, always have a prayer in your heart to God, or when you meditate, that you are constantly giving him praise and gratitude? Do you pray or meditate daily and nightly and sometimes just talk with God? Or other times you pray because you need help and know that he's the one who's always there for me? 2, do you pray daily, and when you pray sincerely, thank him for all of the blessings he's given and then bring him your concerns? 3, you only pray when you're in desperate need? Oh, we have somebody else joining us. Let's see. Where did Where'd that go? Oh, right here. He's popping in and off. I'll keep going. 4, I usually pray the same prayer out of fear that if I don't pray, something bad will happen. But in that prayer, I thank God for what I have. 5, I pray by rote, saying the exact same prayer every single day, or I don't pray at all. But I don't, and when I do pray, I don't put thought into it. So 1, you say honest, sincere prayers. 5, you pray by rote or don't pray at all. And prayer, it could be meditation. I mean, if you're not, you know, so where are you in that scale? 1 to 5?
1.5.
1.5. Good. Why don't you grab a pen and a paper, or a pencil and a paper, because we're taking a quiz, a gratitude quiz. And I'm going to give you a 1 for the first question down because I know you.
Right?
Yes.
Dallin counts his blessings every day for sure.
The second one is about prayer. 1, you pray every day sincerely. 5 being you pray by rote or don't pray at all. So where do you fall in that scale? And you're probably a 1 at that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So those are the first 2.
I'm also like a 2.5, like higher than a 2, but lower than a 1 because I'm not perfect at it. I don't do it. Like some days I forget. And then I realize, oh, you know, but most of the time I do meditate.
I was going to say, you probably remember within that same day.
Yeah, like it's such a habit, but and so I notice when I don't do the habit.
Right.
I can't live without it.
Right.
Right. That's kind of where I am too.
Yeah.
I'm more that desperate need person. I pray.
I'm meditating for 2.5 months solid, like at least once a day, but usually twice. And it's been life-changing.
That's wonderful.
Life-changing.
I can tell you guys are going to be like way up there in this in this quiz. That's wonderful.
Zach, I think you're a 1.5.
Yes.
You're not a 2.5.
Yeah, a 1.5.
Well, you guys do know me really well.
Okay, so we're on. I did these A, B, C, and D because we're doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm on C now. Okay. So we don't get them mixed up with our numbers.
Okay.
That's pretty even.
So we're on C. The calamities, trials, and tribulations of life. This is how we handle them. Okay, number 1 is I'm grateful for the past trials, calamities, and tribulations of life. They have made me who I am, and I like who I've become. That's number 1. 2 is thinking, I have to do this backwards, sorry, so it's confusing me. Thinking about calamities and trials and tribulations of life help me realize how fortunate I am now and all the wisdom I've learned in overcoming them. I'm a better person for having gone through them. Okay. 3, reflecting on calamities and trials and tribulations is uncomfortable for me, but I realize I have endured them and the past is in the past. 4, past trials and calamities and tribulations never go away. They are always a part of my life. They color the way I look at life, and I don't like who they've made me. And 5, past trials, calamities, and tribulations never go away. They define who I am. I tell the stories over and over because I am a victim. Okay, so 5 is I'm a victim. 1 is I am actually grateful for them. And it takes a lot to get to that point in life that you're actually grateful for trials and calamities. So where do you fall on that scale?
I feel like some of them too, are easier to be grateful for, and then others you still hold on to them and you're still working through.
It takes time to get over it, right? To get to that point. Yeah. So where do you fall on that scale generally?
1.
I'm
a 3. I still go into like
still
guilt or shame.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With some of the things that I've done. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm between a 4 and a 5. I mean a 2 and a 1. So I'm going to give you 1.5. it helps me realize how fortunate I'm thankful for the wisdom. And some of them I am grateful for, but I'm trying to become more grateful for all of them. So I'm in that stage of
this
transition.
morning, I was telling Safira that I have a harder time getting over like forgiving myself than I do forgiving others.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a friend did something to me, you know, I would forgive them pretty quickly. Whereas myself, I tend to beat myself up longer. I know that's a little different, but to me, that's a trial and calamity. Like if I make a mistake or if something happens and it's my fault, I tend to hold on to those longer than if it's outside of my control and done like to me. Like if I actually do something, I don't know. So
that may be in here later, but that's true. It is oftentimes harder to forgive ourselves than others. So, and we hold on to that. So yeah. So I just like that was that's the next one. I don't like who they've made me. For a long time, I did not like who my trials had made me. I'd become bitter and angry. And so I lived in that state for a long time until I realized, wait, I've gained wisdom. And yeah, so I think that's a learning process through life that we go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you fall on that? So now we're on D, gratitude for my body and physical health. Ooh, this is a fun one. This has been one of my life journeys. Okay, one, I'm thankful for my body and all it does to keep me alive. I work at keeping it clean and healthy. 2, I'm thankful for my body, but have a few things I wish could be different. 3, I often dislike the way my body looks or feels, and I seek ways to change it. 4, I'm often envious of other people's bodies. I obsess about getting mine to look like theirs. 5, I dislike everything about my body. Where do you fall on that scale? 5, disliking everything about your body, or 1, I'm thankful for my body and all it does for me. I work at keeping it clean and healthy.
I'm a 3.5 in that one. I still find myself being envious and comparing, but not as much.
Such a gorgeous body, Dallin. As anybody, if you want to see something amazing, go to his site and look at him doing yoga. He can stand on one hand at this weird angle and every muscle in his body is ripped and he can just contort and do these, and every muscle in his body is ripped. It's just amazing. I look at his body and it's like one of those wonders of God that you see.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it just goes to show that even people that we perceive have everything that we want, you know, that doesn't mean that they're not going through something themselves.
Exactly.
It's all, you know, to just have compassion for where people are at. Yeah. I'm definitely probably a 3, sometimes a 2, because I feel like I'm thankful for my body, but I always am trying to do things to change it rather than just accepting it. I definitely have come far on my journey because I was like a 5 and a 4 not too long ago, maybe like 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
I go through phases, and the phases that I go through depends on how my body looks to me. So I'm trying to be more comfortable when I have a little bit of extra weight or when I feel a little bit heavier or a little more pain or I'm not eating as healthy. You know, I'm trying to be grateful and patient with myself. But when I'm feeling good, I can go from a 2 to a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the phase that I'm in. And right now I'm in a heavier phase.
Wow, I think you're beautiful. So I'm your mother though. So, this is my son, Dallin. Did we even introduce you? This is Dallin, my son. I love him. He's beautiful. So yes.
2.5.
Kristen, 2.5. Yes. I have been way at the bottom of this because, you know, I have health issues, but right now I'm a 1.5. I love my body, but I love everything about it. I'm so thankful it's keeping me alive. I try to keep it clean and healthy and eat right. But every once in a while, I'll look in the mirror and say, wow, where did all those wrinkles come from? And it's not that I mind getting older, because I don't. I just don't like how fast they're coming on. It's like, can't I age a little bit slower? Isn't that great? I mean, I've earned every wrinkle, but just a little slower, please. So yeah, I'm so appreciative of my body. So yeah. Anyway, okay.
Awesome.
Yep. All
Yeah,
right.
and you as having wrinkles, I feel like you have such good skin, especially in your face.
Yeah, I'm when I'm on a lot of prednisone, it's like now I'm on a higher dose, my skin gets plumper and plumper. And then when I go off the prednisone, you can look at me through the different, if you go back and look at other Thankful Thursdays, you'll see sometimes I look really hollow and my skin, and then but then you lose the water and all of a sudden you have all these wrinkles. It's like, because your skin was stretched out, and it's like all of a sudden I'll age 10 years in overnight, and it's like, ah! It's kind of scares me a little bit. It's like, what happened? Because like right now, you know, it's like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. I like the prednisone. I wish I could stay on that high of a dose all the time. Anyway, oh well, it's just looks. Okay, how I think of people who are less fortunate than me. 1, thinking of others who are less fortunate than I am helps me to feel so grateful for what I have. It causes me to want to share my bounty with them. Thinking of the less fortunate, 2, helps me to remember all the good things I have. 3, thinking of them makes me feel sad for them and happy that I am not in their circumstances. 4, it is uncomfortable for me to think of the less fortunate. And 5, I think the less fortunate are miserable in their miserable circumstances because they must have done something wrong. People get what they deserve in life, and their misery is not my problem. So are you 1? You think of them, it helps you to feel grateful for what you have, and you want to share your bounty with them. And compassionate, basically. Or 5, do you think they get what they deserve in life and their misery is not your problem? Where do you fall on that scale?
1.
I think I'm a 1.
Yeah, I put 1.5.
Dallin doesn't like.
Sometimes I wish I could do more for them.
I'm just kidding. I'm teasing you because you're really good about sharing a lot of
Yes,
the time.
you are.
It's just the way I view myself. I guess I could be a little better, but
We all always could. I do that too.
You know,
Yeah.
I think part of that for me, maybe I'm a 1.52, is I think I have a natural greediness to me. Maybe I'll do a 1.52. I have a natural greediness that comes out first.
Are you guys saying like 1.5, like 1.5 is lower than a 1?
Yes, because more
Or
points
saying it's
is
higher?
less. No, it's
Oh, it's
less.
between 1 and a 2.
So 5 is worse, 1 is better. So 1.5 is a little worse than a 1. 1's the best.
Oh, I've been
Okay.
thinking you guys were saying you were better than a 1.
No. 1.5 is a little less than a 1.
That's what I mean when I say 2.5, that it was
Yeah.
closer to 1.
No, you
Yes.
want to go up. You want to go up
Oh.
instead of down. If it's
Yeah.
a 2, you want the 1.5. So you might want to adjust your scores.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm saying is sometimes when I when I want to have a chance to share, my first inclination is, no, it's mine. But then immediately I get that, no, I want to share. I want to help people.
Mhm.
So I have that, it's almost like my natural man is naturally greedy, and I have to check it and put it back in place and let my spirit take over, because my spirit is very generous. So that's why I'm going to put a 1.5 for that. because I tend to be, my natural man's very greedy. So, okay. So we're on F now. My gratitude level for basic necessities, which are food, clothing, and shelter. This, and number one's long. So sorry. I'm actively and consciously grateful for all of my basic necessities. When I put on my clothing, I'm grateful I have clothing to cover my body and keep it from the elements. When I eat my food, I'm thankful for the hands who have prepared it and for all it has taken to bring it to the table. Each night when I go to bed, I'm thankful for the shelter and roof over my head to keep me from the elements. I share my gratitude with others and or by writing in a gratitude journal or by sincere prayer to God and or by sincere prayer to God. 2, often during the week, I'm grateful for my basic necessities. I share my gratitude in prayer or writing in a gratitude journal. 3, I remember to be grateful for my basic necessities a few times a month, at least. 4, I'm grateful for my basic necessities a few times a year, especially around the holidays, like the Thanksgiving person, 5, I don't have basic necessities of life, so how can I be grateful for things I don't have?
I'm a 1.5.
Okay.
I did a 1 because I like each dinner I bless and I'm grateful, and then each night when I go to bed I bless and I'm grateful. And I've realized it was after doing an abundance challenge with our friend Leah. I've realized that it comes with being grateful every day.
What's an abundance challenge? Do you mind if I ask?
It was just a 21-day challenge of different things like journaling your abundance, doing things like cleaning out your car and taking care of the abundance that you have. Just learning to be or practicing gratitude towards certain people or leaders in your life. It was just a bunch of different activities throughout these 21 days to really see the practice of abundance.
Oh, wonderful.
I did her challenge too. It was really good.
That sounds wonderful.
I find myself questioning, and I have to pray to be comforted, is a full client load, like having clients all the time to reach my goals. And each time I go into that fear, I just practice being grateful for what I have, and then I'll ask to just have my schedule filled, and it's been working.
And Dallin is a massage therapist and a yoga instructor. Yeah. And you are and tell them what else you do, Dallin.
I do shamanic energy healing, which is a way to incorporate all the different energetic arts that I've learned into one practice.
Naturally gifted. Yes. Okay. And anybody else want to comment on this basic necessity gratitude? Where you fall? I'm like 1.5 down the row just about, except for number 1 where I'm a 2.5. Yeah.
I'm very grateful for what I have. And I realize that there are so many people on this planet that don't have basic necessities, and myself knowing that I can live without basic necessities off the land. I've always just held a gratitude for what I have, because I know what it is to have nothing. But I still find that at times I don't like what I have. I want something better. So that's why
we have that coming up.
Yeah. Not quite a 1.
Right. We have that question coming up. Yes. Kristen, are you probably a 1?
Half. I only because I don't necessarily I like to feel like I'm conscious about it all the time. Not all the time, but like at least once a day. But we all have our moments. So.
Right. Well, we're going to move on. I think we're not even halfway through yet. So, okay. When I experience a near miss situation like an accident, injury, disaster, natural disaster, something, I am so grateful to God for his care, concern, watchful eye, and saving me, grateful in having avoided the catastrophe. 2, I feel relieved and grateful at having avoided the catastrophe. 3, I feel lucky at having avoided the catastrophe. 4, it's just one of those things that happen in life. I quickly put it out of my mind. It's better to be forgotten. Or 5, I look for somebody to blame. Surely somebody must be responsible and pay for putting me at risk.
I don't feel like I've ever experienced a natural.
Well, it doesn't have to be natural. It could be like a near miss in a car accident, or you were injured somehow, or remember the time we were driving down the road coming back from education week. This car was coming straight at us and we were going to have a head on, remember? And our car was literally picked up and moved. We felt ourselves lifted up and moved to a complete stop on the side of the road.
Oh, I forgot about that. I have so many chills about that.
That's a near miss.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was like angels lifting us up and moving us to the side of the road. That was an amazing experience, but it was scary. We knew we were going to die. Our eyes, our lives flashed before our eyes and everything. I've had a number of them in my life, been in a tornado where our house, all of our neighbors around us, their houses were destroyed. Ours was left standing. It has some damage, but it was left standing. Things like that. Are you grateful or are you looking for somebody to blame? Those are the two different things. Do you see the good, the positive is, basically, or do you look at it from a negative point of view is basically what it's asking?
I'm a 1.
I'm definitely a 1 in that.
Yeah, I put 1.
I'm a 1.
Yeah.
I actually had something like that happen a couple weekends ago. Anna and I went to the farmer's market up at the truck stop in Wagon Wheel. And I was in the middle lane and I didn't even I was looking straight ahead. And the next thing I know, there's this guy swerved into the middle lane from the inside going north. And I don't know if he was trying to, people weren't paying attention on the other side because someone was slowing down to turn into the truck stop. So I had to make a left-hand turn and they could make right-hand turns. So I don't know if someone had swerved and then he had to swerve. But all I could think of as I looked up, and the next thing I knew, he was out of my lane again. And I was like, well, I must have just threw out my energy bubble or something. Because I kind of I didn't really panic, but it was just and then
right.
But I think Anna and I probably would have died.
Oh, definitely.
Because we were at a dead stop and he had to been going 50 miles an hour.
Wow. You weren't meant to die, that's for sure. Wow. That was amazing. Okay, this is how you feel about family. We're on H. This is how you feel about family and friends. I routinely show and express gratitude, appreciation, and love for individual family members and dear friends. Meaningful relationships are extremely important to me. 2, I sometimes show and express gratitude and appreciation for family members and friends, although I often forget. Daily life gets in the way and I feel guilt because of it. 3, I mean to express love and appreciation for family members and friends, but never seem to get around to it. 4, my family members and friends know how much I love and appreciate them without me showing or telling them. 5, my family members and friends don't show or tell me that they love me, so why should I tell them?
I'm a 1.
I'm a 2 because I feel like I don't do it enough and I often have guilt about it.
Yeah, I'm a 2.5. I do really good for a week and then the next month I'm a 3. I bounce around in those 3 all the time. So
I did 1.5.
Yeah,
Go back.
you're good at that. Okay. Anybody, any other comments before we move on to the next? This is satisfaction for your level in life. 1, although I don't have everything I want, I have everything I need, and I'm thankful for what I have. This is what you were talking about, Rebecca. 2, although I don't have everything I want, there are some things I need that I don't have. I try to be thankful for what I do have. 3, it's important to be thankful for what we have, so that's what I try to do, but I can't help wanting more. 4, I have a long list of things I want out of life. Some days I'm thankful for what I have, and some days I'm not. 5, I'm often envious of the life other people lead. I think my life would be better if mine were like theirs. So 5, you're envious of other people. 1, although you don't have everything you want, you have everything you need, and you're thankful for what you have. Actually, I could fit in all of these at different times. But where do I reside the most?
I find myself wanting more, and I don't even know what it is that I want.
Right.
You know, a lot of that is age too. I think I've found myself in all of these at different stages of life. I mean, because like in my career, I want more. You know, I'm actively setting goals to achieve more. But in my actual life, I'm extremely happy where I am, like spiritually very happy where I am, although I'm always striving for a better relationship with God and so forth. But I'm so at peace with where I am. Different. So to me, this is a really hard one.
What was number 3?
3 is it's important to be thankful for what we have. So that's what I try to do, but I can't help wanting more. But
I'm a 1.5. I feel like I have everything I need, but I don't have everything I want.
I'm going to do a 2 because I bounce between a 1 and a 3, just all of those. Okay. Appreciation for your stage in life. Okay, well, this is different. Okay, that's the satisfaction level. This is your stage in life. Okay, I love where I am in life right now. This is 1. I am grateful for everything I have accomplished. Okay, this I guess is more your career. I guess I should have read ahead. This is J. 2, I generally enjoy what I'm doing in the present, and I'm usually satisfied with what I have in life, yet sometimes what I haven't accomplished yet or what I don't have crosses my mind. 3, occasionally I think about my advancement during the day. The things I want out of life keeps popping into my mind. 4, I'm generally focused on moving up in life. Oh, and I long for material things I don't have. 5, I'm hyper-focused on the future and what I want and obsessed about getting to the next level or my next big purchase. Which to me, you know, sometimes some of these things it's not bad to have motivation for the things you want. I don't think this is saying that. I think it's when you are obsessed. And I think 5 is more about an obsession rather than setting goals. Does that make sense to you? Because I don't think it's bad to set goals and to try to achieve goals.
Well, and it's not about dissatisfaction, right? Like goals are so you can grow and, you know, become more of who you are as a person.
Right.
I mean, there are different motivations behind it, but generally
the motivations
behind a goal is yes, I'm doing this and I'm happy about it, but I also want to grow more and I can't stay in this space and not grow. So,
all right, so this is more about your satisfaction with who you are in your place. You know, like basically, are you always looking for that next level for your happiness? Or can you be happy with who you are at the moment while you're progressing? Or is the grass always greener somewhere else? So where are you in that stage? Do you love where you are right now in life and grateful for what you've accomplished so far? Or are you hyper-focused and obsessed about getting to that next level or the next big purchase?
I'm 2, I think. 2.5 to 2. So like on the lower end of a 2.
Me too.
1.5.
All right, we're almost done, which is good because we're kind of going over. Okay, we got 3 more. Okay, 4 more. Okay, K, how you respond to people who are kind. 1, I share with them how their kindness touched my heart and made a difference to me, or in kind by sharing a heartfelt thank you note or a little gift of service. In other words, you do something in return. 2, I say a sincere thank you, but I'm embarrassed and do not know what more to do. 3, I give a quick obligatory thanks or sometimes forget to say thanks because I have other things on my mind. 4, I feel there's no need to thank them. They know I'm thankful. It's not necessary or expected nowadays. 5, I do not like it when others serve me. It makes me feel like I'm in their debt.
1.
So you share with them how their kindness touched your heart and made a difference to you, or do something in return to express your love and gratitude, like a thank you note or
I'm not great about thank you notes, but I have intentions. I have tons of thank you notes.
Yeah, that intention, right.
I'm a lot better about either responding in kind or expressing how much that meant to me.
Same here. It's about not having expectations on yourself that you have to feel obligated to do something right away. But I think with your intention to do something, when you feel inspired, you'll reach out to that person and say, hey, you know, you've always been there for me, or thank you so much for helping me out. And you know, when you feel inspired, you remember that person and you give back to them in some way. It doesn't have to be right away though. And that's kind of how I am. It's like, I remember those that have been there for me. And sometimes I'm not able to do something right away, but the intention is there. And when I am able, I do.
Right. I have this sweet lady who writes the most beautiful poetry. In the mail, she'll just send me one of her poems. And it just brightens my day. And so to me, that tells me 2 things. Written word is her love language. And so I tell myself, write her a thank you note, send her something in the mail because she would love that. Do I do that? No. But when I see her, I tell her how much it means to me, right? But I know I'm being inspired to write her something, but that's where it's like, I don't know what to do. It's whatever I do is not going to be as good as what she does. Now, if Dallin would write something for her that I could give her, that'd be great because he's an excellent poet. But I just feel like anything he writes not going to be as good as it's that expectation thing. And so I don't do anything for her that way. You know, I tell her thank you and it's heartfelt and sincere, but I want to do more. I just don't know what more to do for her. Sometimes I'll bake her a goodie, but I just wish I could do more for her love language. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I think what
she does mean so much to me. So
yeah. I think what we don't realize though sometimes is even no matter what we're able to do, that means everything. Like I get stuck in perfectionism quite a bit. And so I don't do things because I'm like, well, I can't do it exactly how I want to do it. So I don't do it at all. And it's like, it's better to do it however you can do it instead of not doing it all.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. I love that. Okay.
I tell myself that all the time. So
well, I need to tell myself that too.
Okay. So much wisdom here today.
Yes. Okay. Let's go to L. If a server at a restaurant gives excellent service, what do you do when considering their tip? Do you give them a heartfelt thank you for their excellent service and let them know especially what you appreciated about their service, and then tip them generously over their standard tip rate? That's 1. Do you give them a heartfelt thank you for their excellent service and tip them above the standard tip rate? Okay, so that's 2. 1 was generously over. 2 was above, just above the standard tip rate. 3, I tell them thank you and tip them the standard tip rate. I always tip the standard tip rate, regardless of the quality of service. Service is their job and they should pursue excellence as a part of their job despite their tip. 4, I tip the standard tip rate. They are there to serve me and should be grateful for whatever I give, because besides, I have never had excellent service, ever. 5, I don't tip. Servers receive an hourly rate. That should be enough. I know people like that.
Hourly, they don't realize their hourly rate is below
Not
regular
good.
wage.
Yes. They don't get a big hourly rate, people. They don't get a normal wage. So anyway, but I know people like that who won't tip, and I know people who tip under the standard tip because they.
I love when I'm gifted generous tips, so I always try and be more generous.
Mhm.
But I probably don't think about it as much as I could in being more sincere based on their service or their level of excellency. I just usually feel grateful, and it's kind of like I just standardly tip generously. So I put myself as a 2.
I'm definitely a 1. I'm a gusher. I gush the praise at them, tip them generously. My husband tips them, and I sneak more on. And then I tell them, because I have dietary needs. They have to go above and beyond with me anyway. I just tell them how much I truly appreciate. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes sometimes. So sometimes I've got tears streaming. Thank you so much. I mean, they probably are just like, oh my gosh, this lady. But yeah, they get the full works from me. So I get 1 in this one. Yay!
Yay! I'm a 2. I always tip generously, like, you know, a little above. But I don't think I've ever thrown somebody like a 50 or 100 or something, unless, you know.
Oh, I've never done that.
But I mean,
I would love that though if I were a waitress.
I definitely will tip somebody for good service, because people tip me, and you know, I'm in the service industry, and I value good service, and I value when people tip me well, and so I know how it feels. So I like to return that
And
favor.
you spend so much time above and beyond what other people do with people, and give such quality service. Both of you do, who are in service. Kristen, I don't think I've been to you yet, but anyway. Okay, so what about you, Kristen?
I'm a 1 for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. People must love when we come to restaurants, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now we are on M, and then after this we have 1 more. Okay, receiving praise. This one's hard for me. 1, I humbly thank the praise giver and give recognition and honor to God for all the hard work I give recognition and honor to God, to others for the hard work they've done, for all the support they've given and help I've received to get to this point. So in other words, you recognize that others have contributed to your success, and you thank the praise giver, of course, but you give some of the praise to other people. Okay. 2, I thank them sincerely for their praise, for I know they appreciate my skill. 3, I give a quick thank you. Receiving praise embarrasses me. 4, I self-depreciatingly downplay my role or performance, finding and magnifying my flaws. 5, I'm finally getting the attention I deserve.
So
5 is you're very proud. You deserve that praise. 1, you actually are humble to the point you recognize it wasn't just you alone who got to the point of whatever you did. It took other hands, other people, other things to get to that point. I don't know if I'm there all the time, but for so many years, and I'm still trying to get out of this, I've been at 4 where I self-depreciatingly downplay my role or performance, finding and magnifying my flaws. Just ask my children about any time they come over to eat at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because
Nothing I cook turns out right. Yes.
Always seems good to us.
Kristen?
Oh, I disagree with nothing you cook turns out right.
No, I just, in my mind, I have this level of perfection. And so whenever I do something, it's never how it seems like it should be in my mind. So when people praise me, it's like, oh, well, thank you, but it's just not how it was supposed to be. I planned this, or it should have been this way, or it should have been that way, or it should have been blah, 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 blah. And I have such a hard time with praise. So on this one, I'm giving myself a 4. Thank you is hard for me. Just to say thank you and leave it's hard for me.
Oh, I just said I'm a 3. It makes me uncomfortable when people praise me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I accept it, but I feel very uncomfortable. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's on to the next person.
Which I wonder if that is a learned trait from me, though, because I've been so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would hate to pass that on to you. What about you, Becca?
I've fluctuated. It depends on where I'm at and under what circumstance. Certain things I've done, I'm just so grateful, and I have said, it wasn't all me. And then other times I've been so uncomfortable that I quickly, like Dallin, just shy away from. I don't want to be like. It just makes me uncomfortable. And then other times I've definitely, which I'm consciously aware of it, so I'm growing out of doing this, where I'm criticizing myself or downplaying what I do when I receive praise, like, oh, well, thanks, but because I have a tendency to pick out, like, make a beautiful masterpiece, and it's not good because there's one flaw.
Well, again, did you learn that from me?
It probably is some kind of ancestral thing that we're dealing with here.
Maybe.
Sure. So, but I'm conscious of it. And so even though it is uncomfortable, I say thank you. And, I go to the shine away.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, Kristen? Can you accept praise?
I'm going to say a 1. I have this one. This one has been very difficult for me, and it depends on the thing too. Like, I didn't used to really like being complimented on my appearance because I didn't believe it. And sometimes I still don't, depending on the headspace I'm in. I do feel imposter syndrome in a big way. Sometimes, a lot of the time. But I'm going to say a 1 because I know that I wouldn't be where I am without all of the people that have been there for me, and even the people who have been negative energies that have kind of helped fuel my ambition and my desire to prove them wrong, or to say, use that energy, that anger, to put it towards, well, I need it to go over here. So I can accomplish my goals. So
right.
I'm going to say a 1 for those.
That's
reasons.
great. Yes, when I think about where I am in life, I can truly give praise to all the people who've helped to get me there. But just for my actual, like, if I speak and people say, oh, that was such a good talk, it's like, man, I goofed that up so bad. Okay, this is the last one. It's N. Okay, and it's about your life story. When you're telling your life story, is it interwoven with God, his miracles, the help and inspiration of the people who've guided you? And I could not have become who I am without their assistance along the way. 2, my life story is as much about the people who've assisted me in my journey as me. We are all in this together. 3, I have a few people who show up in my life story, but when I tell it, it's mostly my own. 4, I include someone in my story if they played a part in a decision I've made. Or 5, I have overcome the obstacles in my life myself. I've managed my life wholly on my own. So in your life story, have you 5? Is it all your own? You've overcome everything yourself and become who you are all by yourself? Or 1, has it taken other people? Have other people helped you become who you are in life? Do you give credit and praise to other? Pardon?
And God.
Oh, yeah, 1, yeah. 1. And God, has it been a village, basically, who have helped you become who you are? And where in there does that fall?
I would say 1.
I'm a 1.
Kind
I
of
have
think
another
back
one. I'm a 1 in.
what I said, but I mean, and we all call God different things, right? So
Yes.
it's definitely
Exactly. So, okay. So are we done? You ready to hear? Okay. So now what we need
I'm a
to
1
do is
too.
total up your score. Just go ahead and quickly add it. I'm going to take a minute. I'd like to thank some sources I used for inspiration and in compiling this. One is greatergood.berkeley.edu. The other is spirituallyhungry.com. If you would like, check out their sites and take their gratitude quizzes. I really appreciate learning from you. Let's start with those who have a score of 48 and above. Finding gratitude might be a struggle for you. It's often difficult for you to find gratitude in the things you have because you are so focused on the things you don't have. You often compare yourselves to others and struggle with feelings of envy and perhaps greed. You wish you had more, and a good part of your life is focused on figuring out why you do not have more. You tend to focus on past traumas in your life and struggle with letting go and often feel victimized. Chances are you struggle with insomnia, indigestion, and low body image. Daily sincere prayer to God, asking for a grateful heart, will open your eyes to your blessings and the door of gratitude. Suddenly you will see all the good God has done for you in your life. And then I just had a little prompt for you that might help. What is one thing you can do now to increase your desire for sincere daily prayer or meditation? And maybe if you set a goal, did anybody else have suggestions for people who might be struggling finding gratitude in their lives? Is there some kind of advice you can give them?
just find something little every day. Like it doesn't even have to be something huge.
Okay, 33 through 48. In the right situation, you are a thankful person. Your gratitude is hit and miss. Although you may have good intentions for more gratitude, your gratitude often gets misplaced or overlooked. However, at certain times, such as holidays or when something good happens, you find time to show your appreciation. During times of sorrow, calamity, or trials, you often struggle for reasons to be grateful. Chances are that your life is filled with ups and downs of stress from the daily grind. If you were to begin keeping a daily or weekly gratitude journal listing your blessings, how would this impact your outlook on life? What would your life look like if you had this outlook? Okay, and then for people who scored 14 to 32, you are a consistently grateful person. You practice gratitude as an attitude in your life by concentrating on what is rather than what isn't, what you have rather than what you don't. No matter what is happening in life, you can usually find a reason to be grateful. You actively nurture your gratitude by reflecting on your life situation, learning from your past, and reminding yourself of how difficult your life could be when compared to others. You gratefully acknowledge those who've supported you on your life's journey, including God. Studies, this is from the Greater Good Berkeley, said, studies suggest that your strong tendency to practice gratitude brings you more positive emotions, better health, stronger relationships, and greater life satisfaction. So what is one way you can begin today to use your gift of gratitude to bless the lives of others? So in other words, how can you send that gratitude out to the world and maybe help some of these other people who might struggle find more gratitude? So that's what they suggested. Do you want to share your score perhaps?
17.
Wow, that's amazing.
I've been doing a lot of work the last few years.
That is so amazing. Congratulations on that. Okay. Rebecca, did you want to share a score or you don't have to?
Mine was 24.5.
Wow, that's excellent. You're also a consistently grateful person. Dallin, did you fall in that same category?
I was at 25.
You're 25. You're perfect. You guys are all in there. I was at 22.9, so I was in there too. And I think it helps that we do these gratitude things. It kind of keeps our mind on gratitude. And I think that's one of the things, like Kristen said, if you actively practice and seek for gratitude, the more it opens your eyes to the things you're grateful for in life. So by keeping gratitude journals and by including it in your prayer or meditation, by just doing some of these things, that abundance gratitude thing Dallin did sounded amazing. Maybe we'll do a Thankful Thursday on that. He can tell us about that challenge, that abundance challenge. That sounded cool. But join us next week for appreciation for books you love. We would love to hear about some of the books you love to read and some of the books maybe that have changed your life. So come back and join us in 2 weeks. Thank you for taking part. If you would like, I can post a PDF of this gratitude quiz if you would like to take this at home. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you to our special guests.
And thank you so much. Yes, thank you, our special guests, Dallin and Kristen. Thank you for coming.
And thank you, Mom and Wendy, for putting this together. It was a fabulous quiz. We're so grateful for you and all of your time that you take to really make these Thankful Thursdays juicy and good. So
watch how I accept this praise. I appreciate your praise. I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
I love you.